So what? What's that all about? Well, if we go back to summation notation, here's what's going on here. Let's go to these guys. That got all shadowy. That's cool. So these we're adding even numbers. So in summation notation, this is equal to the sum as I goes to from 1 to n of 2I. Okay, so this takes our counter. I is like a counter. I'm going to put in 1, 2 times 1 is the first one. Put in 2, 2 times 2 is 4. Put in 3, 2 times 3 is 6. See how that works? And so what we just found out is that these two are equivalent. So this guy is the same as that. Okay? So if you have an expression with a summation, we can write it as a nice equation, n times n plus 1. Okay? If we have this is the sum. This is going to be the sum of the natural numbers, so I equals 1 to n, and we're just adding up the numbers I. What this means is take the number 1, that's our first number, put it down. The next number is 2, so just take I, 2, and then take the next number 3 in our list as we count to n, and add that, dot, dot, dot. And that's what we did to get these. Okay, so we just found out that these two things are equivalent. Okay, so whenever we're adding up I, we can write that as n times n plus 1 over 2. Okay. All right. How about odd numbers? Let's write that in summation number. These are the odd numbers. Okay, and so odd numbers, I equals 1 to n. That's our counter. We're going to pretty much always do that. And this number is 2 times 1 minus 1. This is 2 times 2 minus 2. 2 times 3 minus 2. Minus 1, sorry about that. 2 times 4 minus 1. So to find an odd number, what we're going to do is we're going to just write it as 2 times the I number minus 1. Because if you put 1 in here, you get an odd number. Put in 2, you get an odd number. Put in 3, you get an odd number. Okay, so that's how we generate all the odd numbers, okay? These two things are equivalent, okay? This guy will lead to that. This has n's, or it has i's in it. This has just n. So if you know what the number n is, you can figure out what it's worth. That's the idea, okay? And this was the sum of square numbers, and so this is just adding up the sum of the first n even number. Oops, sorry. Square number. So we're going to take the I numbers and square them. 1 squared, 2 squared, 3 squared, so on and so forth. These guys are equivalent. Okay? All right. So what we just found is we found some formulas. Well, all right.